Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York.
Washington Post World.
March 30th, 5:18 America, New York, India police. Ex-journalist among two rebels killed in Kashmir. Two suspected rebels have been killed in a shootout with government forces in Indian-controlled Kashmir's main city.
Washington Post World.
March 30th, 5:03 America, New York. Sudan's leader in Cairo for talks with Egyptian president. Egypt's president has met with Sudan's top general for talks focusing on ties between the two African neighbors.
New York Times World News.
March 30th, 5 o'clock America, New York. Putin's war is complicating India's middle path among powers. India has been reluctant to criticize Russia, long an important ally. But China's rise, and its closeness to Vladimir Putin, is creating new pressure. From left, Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, President Xi Jinping of China and President Vladimir V.
New York Times World News.
March 30th, 5 o'clock America, New York. How war in Ukraine roiled Facebook and Instagram. The rules over what war content is permitted on Facebook and Instagram keep changing, causing internal confusion.
Mirror World News.
March 30th, 4:54 America, New York. Top Russian snipers seen relaxing between kills before being captured in Ukraine. Mom of two Irina Starikova, 41, is said to have killed over 40 people in Ukraine before being abandoned by her protectors on the battlefield, with her capture likely a major blow to Vladimir Putin.
Mirror World News.
March 30th, 4:50 America, New York. Top Russian colonel killed as Putin loses 17,000 troops in Ukraine conflict. Ukraine has announced that Colonel Denis Kirillo, commander of Vladimir Putin's 200th Motorized Rifle Brigade, had been eliminated, along with 1,500 troops, bringing estimated Russian losses to 17,200.
Fox World News.
March 30th, 4:44 America, New York. Russian troops keep pummeling Kyiv despite new focus on Donbass, residents say. Russian forces have kept up a ruthless bombardment of the Ukrainian capital city of Kyiv, despite official statements claiming that Russian troops are withdrawing from Kyiv and Chernihiv to refocus on the eastern Donbass region, Kyiv residents tell Fox News.
New York Times World News.
March 30th, 4:27 America, New York. Israel bolsters security amid deadliest wave of terrorist attacks in years. The army and the police scaled up their ground presence the morning after the latest shooting brought the death toll from attacks in Israel this month to 11. Security forces at the scene of a shooting in the city of Bnei Brak in central Israel on Tuesday.
BBC News World.
March 30th, 4:24 America, New York. War in Ukraine. Russia strikes Chernihiv after peace promise. City's governor says Russian forces bombarded the city overnight, despite pledge to reduce attacks.
WorldCBSNews.com.
March 30th, 4:08 America, New York, U.S. South Korea think Kim Jong-un fake test of monster missile. North Korea claimed to have fired a new long-range missile with worrying capabilities, but defense officials say it was really an ICBM last tested in 2017.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
March 30th, 4:03 America, New York. Absolute rockstar, thousands attend Shane Warne Memorial. A state memorial to remember cricket legend Shane Warne is being held in Australia and attended by thousands of people. Memorial.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
March 30th, 3:58 America, New York. Shane Warne Memorial. Watch live as thousands pay tribute to cricket legend. Shane Warne was known for reviving the art of leg spin.
Fox World News.
March 30th, 3:54 America, New York, Israel. Terror group claims responsibility for motorcyclist gunman who killed 5 people. A terror group has released a video claiming responsibility for a shooting incident in a Tel Aviv suburb that killed at least 5 Israelis Tuesday.
Mirror World News.
March 30th, 2:47 America, New York. Ukrainian mom, repeatedly raped by drunken Russian troops as young son sobbed nearby. The 33-year-old woman said that she was raped multiple times by 2 Russian soldiers who could barely stand while they held a gun to her head and threatened to kill her.
BBC News World.
March 30th, 2:22 America New York, China. Panic buying in divided Shanghai under lockdown. Residents are scrambling for essentials and quarantining in offices in China's financial capital.
Washington Post World.
March 30. 2:07 America New York, militants attack troops in northwest Pakistan, killing 4. Police say militants have attacked a headquarters of paramilitary security forces in northwest Pakistan, triggering an intense shootout in which at least 4 troops and 3 insurgents were killed.
Fox World News.
March 30. 2:02 America New York, Putin has reached a culminating point in war with Ukraine. Russian forces have lost morale, expert says. One military expert believes Putin is running out of steam in his war against Ukraine and that Russian forces are quickly losing morale.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News. March 30. 1:53 America New York, global wind and solar power growth on track to meet climate targets, report says. Solar and wind power can grow enough to limit global warming to 1.5 C if its growth rate can be maintained to 2030. A report by an independent climate think tank said. Mr. Jones says it is an AMP. Number 34. Not clear an AMP. Number 34. How quickly China and AMP. Number 39. S reliance on coal will fall as it plans to continue to use it as a key part of its energy strategy.
BBC News World.
March 30. 1:05 America New York, Ukraine war. Civilians attacked but determined on front lines. One woman tells the BBC from hospital that a Russian soldier opened fire on her for no reason.
RT World News.
March 30. 0:59 America New York, Pentagon downplays Biden's Ukraine claim. A top U.S. general said American forces are not currently training Ukrainian troops in Poland. The head of U.S. forces in Europe said he is not aware of a program to train Ukrainian soldiers in Poland, after President Joe Biden appeared to suggest such a mission was underway while clarifying a previous gaffe made last week.
Time.
March 30. 0:57 America New York, The Kashmir Files. How a new Bollywood film marks India's further descent into bigotry. Once known as heaven on earth, Kashmir today is the world's most militarized zone. A proper evaluation of the causes of conflict would obviously be the first step in diffusing tensions and promoting reconciliation. But a new film is doing the opposite, even as it claims to be honestly confronting the past.